What is up, everybody? It's Dynamik, and welcome back to Dynamic Vision episode 6, where today we're going to be talking about the Cobras versus the Mallards in a series that was pretty surprising, or at least interesting to say the least. This series started out super interestingly for the Cobras, specifically because of where Drew put them at the beginning of this game. He pitched himself in the first game, where he's usually a game 2 pitcher, and also he started Kuakowski first in the lineup, who was only the 4th overall pick this season. So a lot of confidence in him and his guy. Now, I understand at the end of the video that Caden said that Drew had to leave, and I'll take his word for it. But the one thing I'll just say is that this is why you need more than just one and kind of a pitcher on your roster, because there are many things like this that can happen. And what happens when Caden or Drew aren't going to be able to make a series? Do you pitch Zerleg? What do you end up doing there? And it kind of goes back to Drew's management decisions, drafting Kuakowski instead of a pitcher, and maybe not going after one in the trade market. It's something that I'll talk about later this week when I have a full video coming out on the Cobras, but for right now, we'll disregard it. Overall, though, Game 1 was a mess on all fronts for the Cobras. The pitching was horrible, the hitting was horrible. Kuakowski proved to be not the best at fielding, although I am pretty optimistic that he will be getting better because he's actually a baseball player. It's just a different look on the field. I just think he kind of had a rough Game 1. Drew on the mound was not good, and that's an understatement. And obviously, Andy Duran nor Sean Flynn were there to help them out with hitting, so it went pretty bad for them. On the Mallard side, they did really good job of drawing walks, which Drew threw a ton of, and I also like what I saw from guys like Robus and even Preston Colem, who is now back in the lineup after a SLATE 1 absence. And obviously Robus was just insane from the mound. I don't know how much credit I can give to the Mallards because Drew was throwing some pretty wild pitches and Kuakowski wasn't fielding the best. However, while I'm talking about Kuakowski, I did really like his hitting in Game 1 and throughout the series. Game 2 went much better for the Cobras now that Caden Irwin was on the mound, and also their hitting really came together. Drew Davis had some really nice hits, Zerleg got on base, and Esch and Kuakowski both did really good from the plate. Now, Trey Flood wasn't the best from the mound either. He's very streaky, and he's not a guy I'm 100% sold on as a pitcher, even as a Game 2 guy. And I know that's kind of a hot take, but that's something that I will stand by. He just needs to get more consistent in my eyes. However, Trey still hits the ball pretty well. I think he has the potential to grow into a great two-way player in this league. But also there's Preston Colem, who clearly makes the Mallards much better, but I'm just not really seeing enough effort from him. There's the fact of obvious body language, which might sound dumb because we're talking about wiffle ball, but it just feels like he plays with a lack of energy. Also, there was one play where he didn't save the ball from going out of play, which cost the Cobras to get a double, and then also that obvious one where he hit it down the foul line and just didn't hustle at all. And this is something I've been seeing from Colem for a while. I think if he would kind of turn up the energy a bit, he'd be just a better player overall, and he's already a good player. But overall in this game, Caden was really just showing why he's one of the top pitchers in this league, and Kuakowski was also doing a great job. He's showing amazing potential. Now, there's not much to talk about in this Game 3 other than Robas having a perfect game, which was awesome. He's one of those guys to me where he might be the best pitcher in the league right now. He's just amazing. He could win the MVP over Cratch if he starts tearing it up even more, and if Cratch starts falling down a little bit. That's something that people need to look at. But overall, I'm loving the Mallards culture right now. I really think they could get it done this year. However, the Cobras, on the other hand, they're a culture that is just very head-scratching to me. I don't really know where this team is going to go. They're very lucky that Caden Irwin is playing amazingly well. If they didn't have him, this team would be lost. In my opinion, how can the Cobras get to the playoffs and get it done? Well, Drew just needs to start pitching better because they have the guys hitting to get it done. They have some solid hitters, so there's not really a problem there. Anyways, if you guys like this video, make sure to subscribe for the next one. I'll see you guys later this week, and peace.